Look, Gio, I don't put any extra pressure on you here, mate, but, an Italian hasn't won a world championship since 1953, Ferrari since 2007, and, well, let's be honest, mate, you have no business being where you are anyway, but we're here now, so let's make the most of this and make sure Spain was a one-off, and we'll go and get Verstappen, eh? But no extra pressure or anything. Hey guys, I'm Aussie Villain and welcome back to Forza Ferrari and Giovinazzi's unlikely title charge. We are at the Canadian Grand Prix today. We are 2 points off Red Bull. Now, of course, last race, a bit of a disaster for us. Still picked up decent points, but we did lose the lead. 2 points to Red Bull in the Constructors, and Gio is now 1 point behind Max Verstappen in the Drivers. Mick is moving into contention, probably more so for third than to actually win it. But you'd rather have two drivers up there than one, obviously, wouldn't you? So that is that. There's not been too much that has happened. If we go and have a look at the cars, both cars now have the new rear wing, which served Giovinazzi, of course, well in Spain. But they both got it now, so that's an upgrade. Should be good. And we are working on more upgrades as well. A chassis and a rear wing, and we're trying to improve. Because if we go and have a look back here at the car, what we're trying to do is improve our top speed and the engine cooling. So hopefully the new chassis and the new rear wing will do that for us. Because you can see here right now we're 12th and 17th in those, and brake cooling could do with some upgrades as well. The one thing that is actually already designed but not manufactured yet is new side pods as well. So we do have things coming through. Obviously, there's a massive reset in the rules for next season in the game. So at some point, we need to make a decision if we're going to go all out after this season, or if we're going to turn some of our attention towards next season. But we are expecting a wet Saturday. So qualifying could be a bit of a disaster. Let's have a look here, though. So for qualifying purposes, red is Sector 1, blue is Sector 2, yellow is Sector 3. We can see Canada, it's just long straights and a couple of chicanes, really, isn't it? Car attribute, so top speed, which isn't our necessarily strongest point, but low and medium speed corners is, and time considerations. It is not a huge loss in the pits, so an extra stop is often worth it. Because the time difference, if we look at compound performance, is about it's half a second a lap, is it? So it's not huge, but the loss in the pits isn't huge either. So yeah, we'll have to see what we do there. Now, of course, we won our first ever race here with Mick back in season 1. Last season didn't go as well, if I remember correctly, but let's hope we have season 1 form. So performance targets, qualifying, someone in the top 4. You'd like to hope so. If we go fastest lap, we'll try and finishing position someone in the top 4, and then we need a car in the top 6 for qualifying and the race, and we're going to get ourselves a nice little bit of bonus money there as well, which is all welcome. All right, we've got 21 million in the bank. We are just, yeah, we need to refurbish some things here. Actually, the wind tunnel could do a suspension. Anyway, I'll figure out what we're going to do off camera, and yeah, and see what we do, but we definitely need to make sure our facilities are in good nick. So heavy rain for Saturday. Let's hope that's all in practice, because it's so stressful. Honestly, it's so stressful. All right, I'll do some free practice, and I'll see you hopefully for a dry qualifying. It's not. It's going to be wet. All right, so here we are for qualifying. Now, free practice went fairly well. FP1, we had Mick up there in 3rd. Giovinazzi, who has a really, really old engine, was 13th, but only half a second off, which is, to be honest, quite good. Mick in FP2 was 8th. Giovinazzi was down there in 13th. And FP3 was rain affected. Giovinazzi was up there in 8th. And if we go down, Mick was in 11th. So that's fairly promising, I'd say. Alright, so it looks like there is some rain now. We are putting a brand new engine in Giovinazzi's car for this one, so hopefully he doesn't crash and damage it. The other issue we have with him is coming up with a setup. We still haven't quite nailed it, so he's going in a little bit blind on that sense. Hopefully it's going to come out okay, but being that this is a wet qualifying session, we'll probably have to show it. Alright, now it has turned dry. I have made a mistake here with Giovinazzi, I think, because he's coming out into traffic. We just mistimed it. What I did is I sent Mick back through the pits to come out again and basically jump in the line, but it was too late for Giovinazzi. By the time I saw that the cars were coming out, it was already too late to call him in. So he's not bettered his wet lap time in the first sector. What we might do actually is we'll call him in this lap. He should have time to come in, basically refuel and then come back out, because he's not gonna get a time that gets him through this lap, I wouldn't have thought. So that's fine. And yeah, let's hope that this does actually work out, because otherwise it's going to be a little bit of a mess. But it should be okay. All right, so let's jump on board with Mick here when he comes around to start his lap. Oh, we've got a red flag. How long is there to go? We might both be out here. We are both out. Oh, that is bad. Oh, I mean, that is just bad luck, isn't it, really? The red... I should have just let Giovinazzi do his lap. At least he would have had something. He might have got through, but... I mean, you can't predict red flags, can you? When it's not going for you, it's not going for you. All right, so what do we do now? Okay, I mean, this is already damage limitation, isn't it? We need quite a bit of luck here for this to go for us. So I think, do we split the strategy maybe? Is the best thing we can do, the only positive thing is we've got a lot of tires, but is the best thing we can do at this point is just send Giovinazzi on a bit of a kamikaze mission to go pretty much flat out for the entire race, and see what he can do that way. And the answer to that may well be just a yes. That's what we need to do with him. And I wonder with Mick if we go a little bit the other way, because he is starting behind Giovinazzi. We hang for a safety car somewhat, and we go. We start on a hard, and then we go to a soft. So when everybody else is kind of on their tires that are aging a little bit, Mick comes out and is on a soft that can hopefully get some overtaking done. And if we get a safety car, then we can bring him in a little bit sooner as well. All right, welcome back. And oh, just a mess, isn't it? Just a mess. Big thank you to all the Patreon and channel members that are down there. Hopefully we can reward you with a good result here. Now, both cars are obviously pushing on the tires. With Mick, we're going to save his ERS, because I think he's going to need it more later when he's trying to get overtakes done, when DRS is available, perhaps. Whereas Giovinazzi, we know he just needs to make up as many places now as he can, and then go from there. So Mick's initially gone backwards. There's going to be cars just out of position here as well, so we've got to bear that in mind. The one thing we want to do is rarely defend. We don't want to be trying to protect 17th when realistically that's not... Can we get that done? With Gio, we can. Nicely done around the outside of Maldonado. So that's important with him on a medium tyre as well. Perez is next up for Giovinazzi. I do wonder a little bit. We saw, if you were with me for the Kicking Hash series, which was so much fun. Really, really was. But we saw K-Mag, didn't we? He had essentially had the championship won, and then just went on a massive choke and ended up not beating Verstappen to the title. I do wonder a little bit if we might get something similar here from Giovinazzi. Now, this was not his fault. If anything, it's my fault. But whoever calls the red flag, ultimately, we just couldn't do much about it. The rain and the drying track put us better in the works, I guess. Which ultimately, again, was my fault. So, yeah, that is just kind of what that is. Mick has gone back to last, but again, he's playing the long game here. Giovinazzi is definitely playing the short game. And has he gone and got Perez? It looks like he has. And next up, it is De Vries, who should be fairly simple going, I would have thought, in a Haas with Zoe in front of him as well. Particularly if we've got some DRS to play with, which it looks like we have. Get out of the way, Zoe. That should be done. And Giovinazzi is making great progress, which, yes, does make me wonder if we've done the wrong thing with Mick, I've got to say. But, yeah, again, he's playing the long game. Maybe we'll get a safety car or red flag that works in his favour. But Giovinazzi up to 12th already, absolutely flying. Go on, Gio. Alright, now both cars are making really, really good progress. We're actually with Giovinazzi in the train behind Stroll in 5th. So we've charged everything up. We're going to go again now and try and cut our way through this as quickly as possible. Can we get a move done there on Leclerc? It looks like we can. And can we go and get Bottas now into the hairpin? Bottas is just at risk of dropping off the back and losing DRS of these cars in front. But we'll see. We are cooking tyres right now, but that's okay. We're making an extra stop, so we can make up that later on as another nice move there. And can we go and now get the Alpine as well of Ocon? Giovinazzi is just, dare we say, a world champion's drive. Still a long way to go for him to stuff this up, but he is absolutely flying, which is wonderful to see. And then we've got Schumacher. He is just a little bit stuck here now as well. We need to be a little bit more cautious with him, but we're going to go and again try and move him past some cars now. But we'll stay with Giovinazzi, who's up to 8. He's drained his battery at this point, so that's not ideal. We'll put him on to top up. We'll just back the tyres off a little bit, but again, he's just flying through. It just goes to show what we could have done here, perhaps. But anyway, where's Mick right now? Mick has got a couple of no-hopers out of the way, so we'll move him off of DRS, and he can chase down Perez, and he's almost caught up to the back of the train now with Giovinazzi in it. So, yeah, now is it a Magnussen, Stroll? Who's the cork in the bottle here? No, it is Stroll. So, yeah, I don't know why Stroll is so slow. I wonder if he's had contact at the start. He's on a medium tyre, but he shouldn't be that slow, should he? I mean, I know Stroll's not the greatest going around, but he's not hold up a train of cars I wouldn't have thought slow. But anyway, hopefully we can pick him off here shortly. Looks like, actually, shortly might even be now. What we don't need is for cars to get past him and start driving away. So, Gio, if you can maybe do something down the back straight here. Nice exit off the corner. I tell you what, the car is looking pretty good, isn't it? It really is. And we've got Ricciardo now in the Williams, who has caused us a few problems, it has to be said. We're out of battery there, so we'll have to go back to top up. And yeah, Ricciardo and Albon in a McLaren, I imagine, should be fairly straightforward for us. Even Gasly, and he's stuck behind Magnussen. So we could, third and fourth is definitely on the cards here. But yeah, for Giovinazzi to go from basically last to 7th in 14 laps, I mean, that's impressive. That's even you know, real life Verstappen in that Red Bull, that's impressive. Alright, now, we are coming up into Giovinazzi's window. We're actually we're going past it. I'm wondering, now that we're in third, now we do have a few cars behind us as, you know, in third, do we switch him now to a one-stop, go to a hard tyre and just go to the end? And just sort of consolidate what we've done. And then if we get, you know, a safety car or something at a later date, maybe we can look to do that. I'm seriously considering this. Now, if we look at lap times that Mick is doing, he's doing 16.3s on a hard tyre. Now, not particularly he's pushing kind of hard, I guess. Yeah, I just wonder if the extra stop maybe is not what we want to do right now. But equally, we've got to where we are from doing this. Everybody else is going to be coming in relatively soon. Everybody else is one-stopping. We're going to have to come in this next lap, so I've got to make a quick decision here. But I do wonder if a one-stop is maybe the way to go here. No, we'll stay with the two-stop. Now, the reason I say that is that we've got to where we are by doing this and by really pushing and showing that the pace is in the car. We will probably, I would have thought, come out last. Not quite as a few that have made pit stops. So we'll come out ahead of Maldonado, roughly, with Tsunoda. So we're not going to be in too bad of a situation. Now, what we need to make sure of course, is that the pit stop is sub 10 seconds, please. Now, 2.7. Now, the pit crew are tied. I will say that. So we may get mistakes today, and that will be me not scheduling training right. But we do come out down in 15th behind Norris. And yeah, well, we can push now, and we can see how far back up we can get. Mick, we'll keep going with just the one stop for him. My plan with him, we've got his battery fully charged, is that when everybody else comes into the pits, then we're going to really push and try and get past everybody. The issue that we had, and we were right up the back of this train, stuck basically behind Albon. But what the problem that we had was basically that he wasn't going to get through all those cars. So I just charged up the battery. He did drop back, but as we can see, he's edging back up towards them. Although maybe not quite as fast as we would have liked. We might need to maybe go on the attack a little bit more on these tyres and just make sure we're at the back of them when they all come into the pits, so that we can deploy and then hopefully overcut a few of them. But the issue he's going to have, of course, is cars coming out on fresh tyres while he's on the hards. Alright, now we've had a change of plan with Mick. We're going to go onto a medium tyre, and basically we'll go onto a medium tyre now. The reason for this is I'm looking at these cars. We're not really going any quicker than them right now. We're deploying, and we're just kind of struggling to catch the back of them. So we're going to try and undercut is the plan. Hopefully, again, the pit crew is cooperative in this. And we'll try the undercut and see if that gets us past a lot of these cars. We need a good stop though, please, and thank you. 2.7, excellent work, Ferrari. And what we don't need now is to come out into traffic. Looks like we've got a little bit of space. Now Bottas and Sainz, I think, have both stopped already. So, yeah, we've got to be a little bit wary of that. But, yeah, we need to do some good lap. We're not going to get 2 laps out of our battery. But even if we can just use the new tyres and whatnot, you can see everybody's coming in now. And this is going to be the big test, because Perez and Ricciardo weren't that far in front of us. But it looks like what we may have done is started off a little bit of a everybody pitting at once, and we just got out ahead of Perez. So that feels important, doesn't it? So Ricciardo is in front of us, but we should have DRS off the back of him. And hopefully the better car will get the job done here nice and quickly for us as well. And the other thing we need to do, of course, is be careful on these tyres, because they've got to go to the end now. Now, does Ricciardo, they came out for medium or mediums as well. So soft medium seems to be the way a lot of cars have gone. And we've not quite managed to get Ricciardo there, but hopefully we won't be stuck here for too long. Giovinazzi back up to 9th right now, doing 1:14s, which is not bad, is it? So, yeah, Giovinazzi could well get 3rd in this race. Of course, safety cars and red flags pending. That could throw spinners in works, but he should be on the podium. And Mick, well, I don't know how far up he could go. He certainly has the pace to get 4th, I'd say, but it's whether or not he can actually use the pace to get there. We need to top up a little bit. Can we go and get Danny Rick around the outside? Not quite. But this looks a little bit like a matter of time. But what we don't need is him holding us up whilst everybody else is stuck in this train, and we should be doing better lap times. So we're doing 15.1s. They're doing 16.5s. So we're still making up time, which is good. But ideally, we'd be making up a little bit more time. Denny, if you could get out of the way, please. Is this the moment of the overtake? This should be, if not here, then surely into turn 1, as Gasly comes into pit. Are we going to get out ahead of him? This is going to be a big test of how far we've come. And yes, have we? Again, it's like Perez all over again. We've just got out ahead of Gasly, and still we cannot get past Danny Rick. We don't need him getting DRS off the back of these cars. Let's just go, please. Mick, you need to get this done, because Ricciardo is almost within DRS of these cars in front, and we cannot afford for him to get that. Has he got DRS? Not quite yet, but have we got enough to get it done? We have. We should get DRS again. He doesn't, and that is cutting it very, very fine. But we've got past him, and up to 9th now, with Mick going to the end. Verstappen has stopped as well, comes out behind Giovinazzi. But Giovinazzi is now in this train of cars that he needs to get himself past. Feels like everybody spent the whole race here behind Stroll, doesn't it? We'll try a little bit of Urs out of this corner. This is where we need to sort of make our hay whilst we're, you know, on newer tyres than these guys, but also limit the damage to the guys that have come out on new tyres as well. As someone nicks our fastest lap. Oh, it's Mick. Mick absolutely flying with a 13.8. Go on, mate. And can Giovinazzi get Albon to get himself back up into second? Not quite there, he can't. Hopefully, with a bit of DRS up the back straight, though. He's going to manage it. We've got no urge to get off the corner, which doesn't help our cause, it's got to be said. And it might be one that needs to wait till next lap for Gio. But it is going not too badly, it must be said. We might need to charge up Mick here as well. Because he is stuck behind Bottas right now, and we really don't need that. Ricciardo is behind us, so we don't want to get him overtaking us, so let's not charge up too much. As we get the move done on Albon, do we? Yes. Whilst we were harvesting as well. Excellent work, Gio. Excellent, mate. So Mick Schumacher with the old 2-for-1 up the front straight. He gets Sainz and Bottas. And then if you have a look here, you'll see George Russell, who pitted from second, coming out just ahead of us there. Mick's having a very nice race here, isn't he? And that is George Russell in front of us. We've got his DRS. If we can stay into that. Now, as he come out onto a medium tyre, he's on a soft. So that's going to be challenging for Mick. But if he can stay with him, well, this could be a very nice race for him yet as well. Oh no!
Here we go.
Mick and Russell have collided, and I think it's Russell's fault. I mean, it looks like it might be, but we'll see. We don't need a penalty for Mick. If we could get a safety car, it wouldn't be the worst thing actually for Giovinazzi's race. But Mick has knackered the tyres, and he's going to need to stop again. Oh, that is unbelievable. He's only in fourth, so it's not destroyed his race necessarily. He's going to have to stop this lap. He's got soft tyres he can put on, so I mean all that is fine as long as we get a decent pit stop, I suppose. But oh, he's got the penalty. Mick, he didn't need to do that. We were charging up the battery behind George Russell. We were just sitting there and waiting for our moment. And he's done that. And Giovinazzi's lost out to Verstappen as well. But he's coming in shortly. We're just going as far as we can with him. We get a longer pit stop. Though, was that serving the penalty? It was a pit stop issue. So why didn't we serve the penalty there? Now, we've missed that, but I don't understand why we still have a penalty. I'm assuming it's 5 seconds. I missed actually what the penalty was. But Mick down to 14th now. And Giovinazzi, as long as he's sitting here, we need 19 seconds. As long as he's staying with Verstappen, I'm okay with him just sitting here and... I mean, dare we try the same trick behind a Red Bull and charge up the battery. But as long as he's sitting here, he's going to be doing decent lap times. And he's going to be pulling away from those behind. And that's absolutely fine. Of course, the further we push here, the harder we can push the soft tyres as well. And yeah, it could all work out okay for us. Let's even try a harvest. We don't actually necessarily want to go past him here, Gio. This is fine. Just stay with him. Harvest up the battery. And then we can really go when we... Yeah, because we're doing lap times that are fine. We're pulling away from most of those behind us. And again, we need about 19 seconds. So if we can get another 2 seconds. Another 2 seconds puts us with Russell, Stroll. Yeah. Alright, so we are coming up to Giovinazzi's pit stop. We've charged the battery behind Verstappen now. What I think I'm going to do is actually try and go past Verstappen here. We'll do a lap of battery. Because what we want is we want to limit the amount of cars we come out behind. And we are not far away from, you know, everybody that's in the queue there. So I don't mind, I don't think, burning the battery to try and just pull out this gap. If we can get Yeah, I don't know. If we did two laps, maybe this is a lap we need to stop, actually. And put on the soft tyres, and then we'll be able to absolutely burn those to the end. But, yeah, Mick has got some car damage as well, which is not helping him suspension and chassis, so I suspect what was looking like a 4th spot for him. That's the really frustrating thing. Maybe even 3rd, you know, because he was right with George Russell. He could have, I mean, I don't think he would have won it, but he certainly was on for a podium. And, yeah, he's just throwing it all away, which is why Giovinazzi's in the title race and not him, let's be honest. So we've got another good pit stop from us. Now, this is the queue of cars that we were really, really hoping to avoid. And, well, we're what, 2 or 3 seconds off being back in 2nd. And we can push these tyres as hard as we want, basically, and burn through the battery. So, I dare say, we're looking at 2nd here with Giovinazzi, which, given where he started, that is an absolutely stunning recovery drive.
Caution on the battery.
Alright, so here we go with Giovinazzi making his final attack on the podium. We've charged up the batteries, we're going full attack. We've saved enough fuel to make sure that we're going to get to the end without any problem. We can stop doing that with Mick now as well. Mick's up to 13th. He might get a point, but I don't know that he's quite that good. But look, when we go, we absolutely go, don't we? Such a shame about that red flag in qualifying. And just like that, almost in the space of a lap, we have gone from, where were we when we came back? 7th or 8th? Well, we're 3rd now. And we've only got 3 seconds to Gasly, who's up there in 2nd. Then we've got 11 seconds to Verstappen. We couldn't win this, could we? Still a few laps to go. Alright, so a couple of laps have passed and we are now behind Gasly. We're harvesting up because I think we're going to get this done relatively easily anyway. So a little bit of extra battery power. And we are now 10.5 seconds off the lead. 10 laps to go, and we're a second, not quite that lap, faster than Verstappen, and that was with harvesting. Giovinazzi can win this race. Alright, so Mick is at the back of this train, which kind of goes all the way back from Sykes. Now, we are deploying, we are going to use up any tyres that we have. We're going to really struggle at the end, I think. Giovinazzi is out of battery. Giovinazzi is chasing down Verstappen just about quick enough. 2 seconds with a real push lap there with...
No, guys.
No DRS, that's not helping you now, Mick, is it? Yeah, we're just trying to salvage anything we can with Mick. And, of course, he's got a penalty to come as well, so it's unlikely that it's going to make much difference. But you might as well try, you never know what's going to happen. So Giovinazzi is the real interest. We can see Verstappen, can't we? Look, he's right there. Do we have enough about us to catch him? With we'll come across the line here, 4 laps to go. Last lap, we were 2 seconds faster. This lap, he did a 13.9. We did a third, so only about half a second faster that lap. He is probably, in all likelihood, really working his battery and taking everything he's got out of it. And that will not be something he can do forever, obviously. Tyres are overheating, Gio. You're just going to deal with that, mate, because we're trying to get you a win here. And it would be the most of unlikely wins, it's got to be said. There's a little bit of traffic around as well. I think, I'm not sure, it's just Guan Yu Zhou perhaps in front. I'm not forget what we're up to in terms of lapping cars, but Mick, I think we're going to have to just call it on him. He's got Bottas in front of him now, and if he can't get that overtake done, then we can't really help him, can we? 2.5 seconds, 3 laps to go. Is Giovinazzi going to be able to do this? Another lap car between us. This is going to be Théo Pourchaire. Out of the way he is now. 1.7 seconds. Verstappen is now the car in front. There is probably no traffic to the end. Sonoda's the next one. But he's a little ways away. And we are almost within DRS range with 2 laps to go. Come on, Gio. Let's deploy. Let's just try and get to DRS range, and then we should have enough. And we should be in DRS now. We should have DRS. And we're about to come around and start the last lap. It's going to be a classic. It's going to be an absolute classic. We don't have any battery to get off the last corner. But is it going to make a difference? Mick, you can go full attack now, see what you've got, but he's a little ways off points, so I don't think it really matters. Here it is, the last lap of the race. Let's go to neutral. Go on, Gio. This is for the win. This is for the World Championship lead as well. Let's not forget, he's already got the point for fastest lap. Can he complete a stunning, stunning comeback? He's got the DRS. He goes to the front. Giovinazzi from 17th on the grid, I think, may have just about done enough. Now, just deploy out of this corner. Make sure that he doesn't get back past you. And Antonio Giovinazzi, has he done enough? Oh, here he comes. Here he comes. We should have put him on defend. He's done enough, I think. We don't have any DRS out of the last corner. Oh, he got us.
Okay, that's the checkered flag.
He got us.
42.
Max Verstappen over the finish line. And
Unbelievable.
And there's the
Unbelievable. That's how close it was. So it's a stunning drive. It's 17th to 2nd. And in the end, Verstappen does open up his lead. It's not been a good race for Ferrari because we've got George Russell there in 6th. And Mick, in the end, with his penalty, is 13th. Still up 5 places. But honestly, that could have been... Well, it could have been a win. We just didn't quite manage the battery well enough there, did we? But it could have been 2nd and 3rd. I genuinely do believe that for us there. That's such a shame. But if we look at the drivers, it is now a 7-point gap. But Giovinazzi's in this fight, isn't he? He really, really is. And the constructors, we've lost out there to Red Bull. But we were still... I know Alpine had a good day. So we were the 3rd best constructor on the day. Oh, and we've nicked a point in the pit stop competition. Go on, Mick. Ferrari with a point. Have some of that, Haas. We are ahead of Haas now. Let me move myself so we can all bathe in that glory. We are 1 point... we're coming for you now, Alfa Romeo. We are coming for you. So there we go. That is how close we were to a almost last to first win with Giovinazzi. Stunning drive. Mick did it all, just only himself to blame. Next up, it is Austria. It is a sprint weekend, which is always fun. So I'll look forward to that. And hopefully you will as well, and I'll see you there for that one. But Giovinazzi, he's driving like someone who could win a world championship here, isn't he? Oh, can you imagine? Antonio Giovinazzi, Formula 1 world champion. Just doesn't quite sound right, does it? Take care.